Hello, and thank you for watching Jason Adam TV. If you haven't, please click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Okay, today I saw an article in the BBC News, written by Flora Carmichael, dated today, Thursday, August 5th, 2021. The title is How a Fake Network Pushes Pro-China Propaganda. So before I get into the article, many news agencies, legitimate news agencies, have reported on China's information warfare and how China uses misinformation to muddy the waters around a plethora of different topics. So this article kind of brings it all together, and so I'm going to read some of this article to you. Again, this is in today's BBC News. A sprawling network of more than 350 fake social media profiles is pushing pro-China narratives and attempting to discredit those seen as opponents of China's government, according to a new study. The aim is to delegitimize the West and boost China's influence and image overseas. The report by the Center for Information Resilience, or CIR, suggests. The study, shared with the BBC, found that the network of fake profiles circulated garish cartoons depicting, among others, exiled Chinese tycoon Guo Wengui, an outspoken critic of China. Other controversial figures featured in the cartoons included whistleblower scientist Li Meng-yang and Steve Bannon, former political strategist for Donald Trump. Each of these individuals has themselves been accused of spreading disinformation, including false information about COVID-19. Some of the accounts spread across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube use fake AI-generated profile pictures, while others appear to have been hijacked after previously posting in other languages. There's no concrete evidence that the network is linked to the Chinese government, but according to the CIR, a nonprofit group which works to counter disinformation, it resembles pro-China networks previously taken down by Twitter and Facebook. These networks amplified pro-China narratives similar to those promoted by Chinese state representatives and Chinese state media. Much of the content shared by the network focuses on the U.S., and in particular on divisive issues like gun laws and race politics. Let me interject here. I've talked before about how, these agents of China have worked to sow seeds of division among Americans. And I truly believe that a lot of the online arguments regarding these divisive issues are instigated by foreign agents. Okay, getting back to the article. One of the narratives pushed by the network paints the U.S. as having a poor human rights record. Posts from the fake accounts cite the murder of George Floyd among examples, as well as discrimination against Asians. Some accounts have repeatedly denied human rights abuses in the Xinjiang province region, where experts say China has detained at least 1 million Muslims against their will, calling the allegations, quote, lies fabricated by the United States and the West. The aim of the network appears to be to delegitimize the West by amplifying pro-Chinese narratives, said Benjamin Strick, the author of the CIR report. How was the network uncovered? The article states that the CIR mapped hashtags favored by previously identified networks, unearthing more accounts that showed signs of being part of an influence operation. Telltale signs included high levels of activity pushing propaganda narratives and repeated use of the same hashtags. Newly created accounts with usernames that appear to be randomly generated, and accounts with very few followers also raised red flags. Some profiles were created to post original content, while others only shared, liked, and commented on those original posts to help them reach a wider audience. This kind of activity is called, or often referred to as, astroturfing, because it is designed to create the appearance of a grassroots campaign. Many of the fake profiles used AI-generated photos, a relatively new phenomenon that allows computers to create realistic-looking images of people who don't exist. Unlike stolen profile images of real people, the AI-generated images, which are created by a type of machine learning framework called StyleGAN, cannot be traced using a reverse image search. The use of fake profile pictures in disinformation campaigns is becoming more common as users and platforms become more wary of suspicious accounts. The CIR used various techniques to identify fake profile pictures in the network. The synthetic images always put the eyes in the same location, so lining them all up can help identify a collection of fake profile pictures. Normally, a random collection of profile pictures would display much more variety in the cropping and the alignment of the eyes. Other signs include blurred edges around hair, teeth at strange angles, and blurred objects around the face. Many of the Facebook accounts believed to be part of the network appeared to have Turkish names. These accounts may once have belonged to real people, but were later hijacked or sold and given new profile pictures. Hijacked accounts also spread the network's pro-China narratives on YouTube. Accounts that had previously posted in English or German and then lay dormant for years suddenly started posting Chinese language content from official Chinese state broadcasters. The CIR shared its research with the social media platforms involved. Facebook has removed the accounts on its platform highlighted in the study. A Facebook spokesman said, "In September 2019, we removed a network of spam activity that posted lifestyle and political clickbait, primarily in Chinese. This network had almost no engagement on our platform, and we continue to work with researchers and industry peers to detect and block their attempts to come back, like those accounts mentioned in this report." YouTube also terminated accounts in the network for violating YouTube's community guidelines. Twitter said it had also now removed almost all of the accounts identified by the CIR, as well as a number of others engaged in similar behavior. It said its investigations were still ongoing. When we identify information operation campaigns that we can reliably attribute to state-linked activity, either domestic or foreign-led, we disclose them to our public archive, according to according to Twitter. Over the past decade, billions of dollars have gone into funding the growth of China's presence on international platforms. But with Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube blocked in the mainland and only accessible via a VPN, the country has struggled to get such platforms recognized as viable competitors to Western juggernauts. It is needed not only Chinese voices, but foreign voices to show that the country has, quote, arrived. So China has poured billions of dollars into this disinformation campaign. And it has not only relied on Chinese vloggers and bloggers, sometimes known as the 50-cent army, due to the fact that they receive a small fee from the government for each pro-government post that they make. It has also involved foreigners. One of the most notable and notorious is Nathan Rich. Nathan Rich is a YouTube vlogger, and he has posted, he's originally from America, Los Angeles, and he has posted many pro-Chinese government videos on YouTube, and his videos regularly include disinformation. But he's by far not the only one. According to an article posted July 11th in the BBC News by Carrie Allen and Sophie Williams, foreign bloggers denouncing what they say is negative coverage of China on highly controversial subjects such as Xinjiang are attracting large numbers of subscribers on platforms like YouTube. In recent years, the vloggers or vloggers have been increasingly presenting themselves as China lovers, spreading Communist Party disinformation. YouTube labels Chinese state media, like broadcaster CGTN, as government-funded, but there is little policing when it comes to individuals promoting similar narratives. Some vloggers or vloggers are suspected of cooperating with state-owned outlets to spread China's rhetoric to the world. But it's far from clear what really motivates them or how effective this strategy is. So the article goes on to name some of the vloggers. I don't think they mention Nathan Rich in this article. They mention British expatriates Barry Jones, Jason Lightfoot, and father and son team Ollie and Lee Barrett. Lee and Ollie Barrett, who use their platforms to comment on the West's alleged lies and China's government principles. These people have subsequently gone on to appear in videos for Chinese state broadcaster CGTN, which does broadcast in the English language. And it is sponsored directly by the Communist Party of China. Earlier videos on their personal channels focus on navigating daily life within China. More recent videos, however, have become overtly political. They staunchly defend China's rhetoric on topics ranging from COVID-19 to Hong Kong and Xinjiang. Many of these YouTubers have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and their videos are fiercely promoted and commented on by nationalist users. The article goes on to state that expat vloggers like the Barretts and Jason Lightfoot, however, appear to be comparatively privileged position with significant access to areas that most journalists and even other Chinese citizens do not get access to. The Barretts have attended multiple government-sponsored events. In one of his videos, Lee Barrett comments that organizations like state-owned China Radio International will, quote, offer to pay for the transport, the flights, and accommodation in exchange for him and his son commenting on their trips in state media. In an email to the BBC, the Barretts strenuously denied they post disinformation on behalf of the Chinese government or that they are paid for content. Jason Lightfoot and Lee Barrett are listed as stringers, that is, people who report for the state broadcaster CGTN on the CGTN website. So they are on the payroll of the state propaganda TV site CGTN. In one video, CGTN video, Mr. Lightfoot says that he is grateful to CGTN for giving him the experience to explore Hainan, and that CGTN staff and expat vloggers enjoyed working together, producing live streams and videos as a team. Mr. Lightfoot declined BBC's request for an interview, but he did say that he was not funded by anyone but himself to the BBC. So these people are, basically foreigners who, in my opinion, are being paid by the Chinese government to spread propaganda for the Chinese government. All in all, not that much different from Lord Haha during World War II. Of course, we're not in a literal war right now. There are not bullets being fired and missiles being exchanged, but we are in a fight over information. Hitler had an easier time than the Chinese government spreading disinformation. Back then, most people got their information through radio. And so Hitler's propagandist, Joseph Goebbels, hired this British expat by the name of William Joyce. And William Joyce would spread Nazi propaganda by radio into other European countries, including the UK. And he basically got his orders from Goebbels himself and spread the propaganda through Nazi radio. What happened to Lord Haha, or William Joyce, after the war? He was hanged for treason by the British government. Am I saying that these people in China should be hanged? No. But what I am saying is that in some cases, they are spreading dangerous misinformation. Like, for example, hiding the facts about the genocide that is taking place in Xinjiang province. Some of the people being paid spread disinformation about COVID on the internet, spread conspiracy theories about COVID on the internet that do harm other people who believe what they read. And honestly, I do believe that this would fall under, something illegal. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You should not be allowed to spread medical information that harms other people. That should be against the law. This is not a free speech issue. You can state your opinion as much as you want, but if you try to spread fake facts about a pandemic that has killed many people around the world, then that should be an offense. That should be a crime, and you should be prosecuted accordingly. And I do believe that, governments are going to have to get tough on these pockets of misinformation, these people who have been paid to spread wrong information, especially those who are hired by other governments. And I believe these governments should pay for what they've done. It's not the same as shooting a missile into another country, but it does have a deadly effect in the end. And I believe there should be consequences for those, for the misinformation that's being spread by foreign agents. Okay, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.